let us explain the whole of the code that we have here. Creating a table is the first thing that we did after setting up our connections. We create table. So this table we created is called the CSE students, and this is we use the function create table keyword here, and we create a table called CSE students. Open a parenthesis and put in the what is it called, the columns that we expect to have in the table. Writing the column, we don't really need any keywords or any function to do that. Just write the name of the column. For example, here we have the name of the column to be year 1 CGPA, and the data type that is going to be there is a decimal. That is a number with the decimal point. Then the highest number of digits that we expect to have in this place should not be more than 3, both at the decimal part and the character part. I think that is called character.
Yes, okay.
Character and mantissa. Okay, both in this part and this part must not be more than 3. That is for example, you must, if you're having 1.20, that is 3 digits, and it is 1 number, but it's 3 digits decimal. So it shouldn't be more than 2 here. For example, you cannot do something like this. That is what that 3,2 means. So when you are done with that, we now assume that since we are not giving any values of CGPA to work with, we decided to generate a random CGPA so that we can use it to test our results to get to make sure that we are doing the right thing. So we use insert function and into, that is, we insert into the table. Once you use this insert into the table is CSE students. We open a bracket and include all the columns in that table. Remember that every complete should I call it script or query, every complete functions that you complete ends with semicolon, just like this place. So here now we are still working on 1, so we are not ending it until we get to this point. We cannot end it with semicolon. So here, after inserting the values into this table, and we now specify the values of that values that we values of this column, sabi. So, and we generated this array. An array is a kind of list that shows the list of the CGPA that we have for year 1 to year 5 according to how this is arranged. So what here means is that the 3.5 here belongs to year 1 CGPA, 2.5 belongs to year 2 CGPA, 4.5 belongs to this. The same way everything happens. Then we separate the whole thing with comma, since we want to include more CGPA for more students. We can actually get it for more students. We can actually add more CGPA here, but we're not doing that now. So the same thing happened to this part. Then now we have created our table, and we already have the things, that the values of the CGPA that we want to work with. Let's go ahead and retrieve the level with the highest CGPA. So the level with the highest CGPA, from according to this place, if you look where, I think it should be something 4.8. That is the highest. So let's go ahead and generate those things, the level with the highest CGPA. But first, let me run what we have here to make sure that we have table created. If I run this, clicking on this run here, I will look at this place. You know, I already have a table created called CSE student. If I click on this table, I'm able to see the display of the table heads. These are the columns that we created here. So these are where we are going to display those things. So let's go ahead and insert those values. We run the values and come back to this place. We get the values of these things, and now we have those values, those items, those things that we have in this place. If you look at here, you know that the whole of this is exactly what we have here. Just duplicate. So let's now go ahead and select the highest value or the highest CGPA. The same way we run this to get the highest CGPA. To get the highest CGPA, you just select. So we don't have any function or variable that was called year one before. That's why we enclose it in a string, because we just want to create it now. So since we are working with levels that has the highest and lowest CGPA, so we decided to say, okay, select year one. We don't have it before, but we just created it here as level, since we are working with level, so that we'll not be seeing all this bunch of year one CGPA, year two CGPA. We just want to be seeing the levels and CGPA. So we say select year one as level, comma, select year one CGPA as CGPA from student. That is from the table that we created already. Then in this second one, we did the same thing. We did the same thing to the last part here. If you look at this play, you will see that we don't really have this as level in these ones or as CGPA in these ones. What we have here is, why we didn't have that is because from this first line, level here is going to be displayed as a table head, as a table table head. That is a column head. So, and CGPA is another column head, and all of these ones are going to be stacked on top of, that is a below the first one. So we don't really need to get all of them like that. So this union all, what this union all here means is that since we have selected year 2 and we also selected year 2 CGPA from CSC this, and in this place year 2 is having 2.5, 1.5 and 2.5. So we have to union all of them to make all of them be united to be in a kind of the same class. That's why we use this union here to unite all of them to those classes. Then after that, we have this order. This is another function called order by. This order by here is a kind of order, arranging something in any order you want it to be, maybe in ascending order or in descending order. But in this case, since we are looking for the highest CGPA, we have to arrange it in descending order, and that is from the highest to the lowest. And we set limit to 1. The essence of setting this limit to 1 is because we want to display the highest, and arranging it in descending order, we just get everything in descending order. But now we want to display only 1, which is the highest one from that place. That's why we have this limit to 1. Let's go ahead and run it and see what we are going to have in this place. Now you see from here we have year 4, and that is the level that has the highest CGPA of 4.8. Checking from this place, you will see that this is the highest CGPA and it is 4.8. So now to get the level that has the lowest CGPA, the same thing that we did in the other parts, we just did it. What we did here is just to copy that first code. Just copy this first code because all of them are the same, and we pasted it here. And now arrange it in a different order, which is an ascending order, which is ASC here. The other part is descending order, which is DESC, and here is ASC, which represents ascending order. And we are also getting the first digit from ascending order. Okay. Okay, let's run it too, and if we run it, we are expecting to have from here, okay, 1.5 as the lowest, Abby, as the lowest, 1.5. So let's go ahead and run it. Run here, and now we have year 2 has 1.5. So year 2 student has the lowest CGPA. So let's go ahead and do the last part. This is a query to retrieve the level with CGPA less than 3.5. This is called a comment. All these things called a comment. We just started with this 2 dash dash. When you start with 2 dash dash here, you are going to generate a comment, and that comment helps to explain the code. Why we included here, just to explain what this is all about. So it's not actually doing any work, like it's not producing anything in the query. So now look at this place. We select year 1 again as okay. We already have this. It's just a kind of copying that again to this place. But at this point, we just copied the previous one to this place. But in this point, we included something. Let's use this guy to work on it to get that. We said select year 2, comma, select year 2 CGPA. So which means we are selecting both the year 2 and the year 2 CGPA from the table, which is CSC student. So we just selected just the same way we did in the other part. Now we added where year 2 CGPA is less than 3.5. So we are only selecting the part where the year 2 CGPA is less than 3.5. So do it for all of them, and when you are done, run the code, and from this results terminal here, we have the list of the levels that have the CGPA less than 3.5.